Well, we've got a heat wave coming. That means the temperatures are going to be in excess of 30 degrees. So whatever your temperature is outside, if you've got a 30-degree plus outside, you're going to end up with 45, 50, maybe more inside the greenhouse. So there are 5 jobs that you must do. Otherwise, everything in your greenhouse will die. Well, it's 25 degrees in the greenhouse at the moment. That is reasonably okay with a bit of care and attention, but coming up over the next few days, as I've already told you, it's going to have a heat wave coming. We are looking at temperatures above 30 degrees and they're bordering into the late 30s, which basically means you can add another 20 degrees roughly to that, and you'll end up with a greenhouse that is not the 35 that it is outside. It will be about 45, 50, maybe 55 degrees with all the glass and everything. So we've now got to 5 jobs, the 5 jobs that we've got to do. All these plants have now got to get outside in a shaded area. Things like the seedlings that are now coming through nicely, ready for the beds, etc. They've all got to get out into the shade because starting this week, excessive temperatures. So we now need to get those all done quick. Well, that's looking a bit bare, isn't it? Never mind, we're going to get all that out, all outside, and then we will be ready for stage 2. Well, in the short time that took, the temperature in here is now on 30 degrees, so it's starting to make its way up. At the moment, we are looking at 12 o'clock midday, and we're standing at 30 degrees. Now, part 2 of this little job are these. Now, these pots must, all these pots and trays, etc., these trays, they've all got to come out of the greenhouse, because when this greenhouse heats up next week, over the next few days, anything above 30, 40 degrees, these things are going to melt. They will just totally collapse. So I've got to collect all the trays that I've got sitting in here, and I've got quite a few of them, and put them all into the potting shed where it's reasonably cool. Right, trays, water trays. These have also got to go outside. This is actually a good time, if once the sun comes in, once we've got all this sorted, it is actually a good time to sanitize and clean all your trays and cells, etc., pots. So we'll pop along into the garden in another video, and we'll show you how we do that in the next video. But in the meantime, we've now cleared everything out from here. So right, we've done part 1, which was remove all the plants and seedlings from the greenhouse. Part 2, we removed all the trays and little pots, etc. They're done. So now the greenhouse is clear, apart from our tomato crop, which we'll go into in a moment. At this stage, we now need to water all the seedlings, all the plants, so that they will survive the coming heat wave. So this is quite straightforward. We take the hose on a low and we fill up all the trays with the water that they're going to need for the next 24 hours. Now you will need to come out here on a daily basis and water everything. The shock of the move has started to affect them. We now need to revive and get everything working again, because these plants are going to be needed later in the year to fill out any spaces within the flower beds. So we've just got to get everything all nicely watered so that nothing is going to die out here. You'll notice that I've put them into the mini greenhouses. Now these mini greenhouses have got a mesh inside them that breaks down the sunlight. So whatever hits this will be still going in there, but it will not be as bright as we're coming to do. Now then, we have all the plants in. You do not close this. This is now in a position that is not direct sunlight. You will get some in from the top, but from this way in, it will not be affected by the sun. So they can stay in there, keep them watered, and then in a week's time, hopefully if the heat wave is gone, we can then get them all back out and put them back in the greenhouse again. And then if we get another heat wave, we do the whole process all over again. Right, now then, the next stage is water in the greenhouse. So we are now going to have to spray on quite a heavy spray all the glass, everything. Clean it all down whilst you're at it. And the floor. Now the floor is going to need quite a lot of water. Now this is going to be a little bit wet in there because all around has got to be completely dampened down. This is an ideal time to water the tomato plants, or you can do that at the next stage. So now we've watered down this greenhouse, so we now are in a position where we're nearly ready to go. So that's nearly it, really. We now have watering in the greenhouse all sorted. We are now watering the tomato plants. So they're all now ready. They will need checking on a daily basis to make sure that they are being done to their own satisfaction. Tomatoes do like quite a bit of water. Don't drown them, but they will survive this heat wave as long as we keep them moist. Right, now then, the next job. You've watered everything down. It's all nice and damp in here, but it's not too wet. It's still safety dry. And we now need to point out ventilation. Ventilation is very, very straightforward. The window will automatically open for itself to go out for the heat that's up here. The front door of the greenhouse is open, so you can then get a little bit from the heat out the door. But this is going to work wonders, especially in this greenhouse. I think this is quite cool. I don't think I'm supposed to be standing here holding it though, never mind. What you do is you place this in a prominent position and you tilt it so that the cold air is wafting around the whole of the greenhouse. So basically that is now going to do wonders for the heat, because it's going to take it all from this end and push it out the door. This is collecting the heat that's up here before it starts to drop down into here. So the fan will take that in hand as well and push the heat out through the window. Everything goes out through the door and the air circulates around inside the greenhouse and keeps it reasonably cool. Now, as we were just now when we started this project, we were virtually on to 30, and then by a few minutes into it we were on the 30. We are now standing at 27 on the thermometer. So with everything that we've done, we've cooled it down at this point. But remember, the heat wave is coming in. It's going to be around about sort of 35 plus. So this job, or these jobs that we've done today, are going to save all your plants. Keep an eye on your tomatoes, keep topping them up with water, with the ventilation that's in here and the moisture that's in here from all the water everywhere. It's going to keep them happy. Okay, so, and now, final bit of watering is the land outside the greenhouse. Now this might seem a little bit silly, but it's not, because basically the heat will work its way across the ground and into the greenhouse if we're not keeping this clean, and water is the best way to do it. So there we go. So all I can say is we'll complain the water a little bit later when the heat comes in. But if you found that of help, thumbs up if you liked it, pass comment. If you've got any ideas of how you keep your greenhouse cool, let us know. It will be very helpful. We can take these all on board. And of course, as ever, subscribe. Click on the subscribe button and we will then be able to let you know when there's new videos, and there will be one coming up in about a week's time. So in the meantime, keep on growing.